A few years ago, I was riddled with anger. I had huge, deep set anger issues that were consistent and reliable, and I was experiencing them every single day. Now, this never turned violent in any way, shape, or form. It was all internal, deep seated anger. And I know now that anger was actually the manifested anger from some internal issues that I was working through, specifically around loneliness and blaming other people for my loneliness. These days, I don't feel that same level of anger. So I want to give you a tip on how I managed to move from point A to point B. Now, I will say that this is not a tool for eliminating anger in the moment. There are other tools for that, breathing exercises and things like that I'll cover in a future video. But this is for those that are consistently feeling any kind of negative emotion, really, but anger specifically for me and for a lot of men, and how you can shift it over time so you experience it less and less and less and stop it coming up in the first place. So diagnosing the cause and not the symptom. And I learned this at Date with Destiny, so I want to pass this on because what I was shown was I was creating rules within my life that allowed me to experience negative emotions on a much greater frequency than positive emotions. I remember when I was living in Denver, when I was unpacking this and actually doing this exercise, I wrote down like when I was feeling angry and what caused me to feel angry. And I realized it was things like whenever somebody did something in traffic, like for example, they might like go half a car length beyond the point where they're supposed to, the line that they're supposed to stop. Or they might narrowly go through an amber light when they really potentially should have stopped, or they're maybe slightly too close to my rear end. Or if I was going to the store, the shop, the store, depending on where you are on the world, like if I saw somebody with their shopping cart or trolley and they would kind of put it back into the bay where it's supposed to, they would either leave it by the car or they would put it back into the bay really badly or something like that. And it would take so little effort to just stack them effectively to make life easier for the employee that has to come and get them out, right? And some people would, and I would get so enraged by that idea. And as I started to kind of write out the rules, I realized that I was creating rules for experiencing things like anger on a really regular basis. So whenever these things would happen, I would feel angry, and they would occur several times every single day. And then when I kind of flipped the coin and looked at, experiences like joy and peace, like those positive emotions, I realized that I was making it incredibly hard for me to experience those. Like one of my rules for joy was whenever I kind of made a sale, because I was doing commission-based sales at that point, whenever I would make a sale, which was approximately once every 3 weeks or a month, I would experience joy. So I was experiencing anger 3, 4, 5 times a day and joy once a month. You can see what I'm talking about here. So what I did was I set up some rule. I started to identify and change some of the rules that I had for when I experienced certain things, and made sure that the experiences for feeling those positive emotions like joy or peacefulness or gratitude would happen on a regular basis, and the rules that I had for anger would happen on a much less regular basis. Right? So I'm going to be covering this in greater depth in a future video, but in terms of just for now, what I would love you to do, if you've got to this point, is think about a negative emotion that you experience regularly, something that you really you don't want to have in your life. It's far too frequent. You feel like you're always feeling that emotion. I want you to write down what it is and start noticing what triggers you to feel that emotion, and start writing it down. And it could be anything. This isn't about fault or blame at some point. If it is an external factor, like somebody else doing something that causes you to feel that way, still write it down. right? Because we're just identifying the trigger at this point, completely objectively, just identifying what it is that's causing you to feel that way, and then we can learn to shift it over time. So that's step 1, and we'll do step 2 in a future video. But that's it for me. Happy Friday, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Bye.